Have you ever entered a room and instantly sensed someone's presence before they even said a word? You couldn't explain it, but there was something about their energy, the way they moved, the calm, quiet confidence in their posture. Now, ask yourself this: what if you could have that same magnetic presence, where people notice and respect you without you even needing to speak? That kind of quiet power doesn't come from flashy speeches or clever comebacks. The ancient Stoics understood something timeless. Real presence isn't about what you say, it's about how you carry yourself. It's about how you live, act, and respond to the world. Think about it. Someone with a steady gaze, good posture, and the ability to stay calm when life throws chaos their way. They don't need to shout to be heard. They don't need to perform to be seen. Their very presence speaks volumes, and that presence creates a natural aura of respect, curiosity, and even admiration. The best part? You don't have to fake anything. You don't need status, charm, or good looks. You just need truth, the kind of truth that comes from living by principles that make you solid inside and out. That's exactly what Stoic philosophy teaches. In this video, you're going to learn 7 Stoic lessons that will make you more magnetic without uttering a single word. These aren't just ideas from books. They're time-tested strategies practiced by philosophers, emperors, and warriors, men and women who led not by volume, but by presence. So if you're someone who wants to walk into a room and be felt, someone who naturally draws others in without forcing attention, then stay with me until the end. The final lesson? It's the one that unlocks the full picture. But before we dive into these timeless Stoic teachings, let me share a quick story that sets the tone for what we're about to learn. There was a man named David. For years he struggled to understand why some people seemed effortlessly magnetic. He'd spend hours thinking up the right things to say, trying to impress with wit and clever arguments. And yet, others would enter the same room, stay silent, and somehow capture everyone's attention. One day, while observing a co-worker named Elijah, David noticed something strange. Elijah didn't say much. He didn't seek the spotlight. But people noticed him. They respected him. He never raised his voice. He never needed to prove anything. And yet, his presence spoke louder than words ever could. Puzzled, David turned to a wise mentor, an older professor named August, who had seen this kind of power before. David couldn't shake what he'd witnessed in Elijah, and what his mentor August had said. There was something powerful in that calm, steady presence. It wasn't about words at all. It was about being. The professor, with a knowing smile, began to share insights rooted in ancient philosophy. David, he said, real presence comes from within. That idea alone hit David like a revelation. The Stoics had discovered this over 2,000 years ago. If you want to be respected, if you want people to sense your power without you needing to say a word, you must first master yourself. Only then can you have any meaningful influence on the world around you. David leaned in, captivated. He was ready to learn. That's when August began to reveal the 7 Stoic lessons that would completely shift how David saw everything. He started with the story of a general in the heart of battle. Chaos exploded all around, soldiers shouting, scattering, losing control. But the general? He didn't flinch. He stood still, unwavering, calmly observing the battlefield. analyzing the situation. His steady presence pulled his troops back from the edge, and they went on to win. August looked David in the eye and said, "That is self-control. One of the most powerful traits a person can possess." Seneca once said, "The strongest person is the one who has power over himself." In a world full of people who panic, lash out, or crumble under pressure, the one who remains composed becomes a beacon. David began to realize just how often he'd been doing the opposite, talking too much, overreacting, trying to prove himself, through noise instead of presence. That night in silence, he made a quiet vow. "From now on, I will master my emotions before they master me." The next day at work, David observed Elijah with fresh eyes. His posture was upright. His steps were smooth, deliberate. Nothing about him seemed rushed or chaotic. It was as if his body followed a calm inner rhythm, as if he moved from intention, not reaction. August had once told David, "Marcus Aurelius believed that the soul is dyed by the color of your thoughts, and that your body reflects what's going on inside." David got it now. A calm and confident posture speaks louder than 1,000 empty words. So he started to adjust, standing taller, walking with grounded presence, moving with purpose instead of urgency. Within just a few days, something shifted. People began to look at him differently, and he hadn't even changed a single word, he said. One afternoon, David watched a heated argument unfold in the office. Voices clashed. People talked over one another, all trying to be the loudest, the smartest. But Elijah stayed silent. He didn't interrupt. He waited, and when everyone finally burned out their energy and fell quiet, Elijah simply said a few calm words. That was all it took. The whole situation dissolved. When David told August about it later, the professor nodded knowingly and shared. A quote from Epictetus, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Listen more, speak less." He added, "When you talk too much, you lose your mystery, you dilute your presence. But silence? Silence gives your words weight." And David took that to heart. From then on, whenever he felt the urge to speak just to prove himself, he paused. From that moment on, David began practicing the art of restraint, speaking less, listening more. And just as August had said, something surprising happened. When David did speak, people actually listened. But then another pattern started to emerge. David realized that the people he admired most, Elijah included, all shared a specific trait. It wasn't loud or showy. It was subtle but powerful. They had a steady gaze. Elijah's eyes, for example, were calm yet focused, never aggressive, never darting around nervously. He didn't stare people down, but he also didn't flinch or look away. His gaze held presence, August explained. A strong gaze reflects a strong mind. When you look someone in the eye with calm conviction, you're silently saying, "I know who I am." So, at his next meeting, David tried it. No more avoiding eye contact. No more scanning the room or looking at his notes to escape attention. Just relaxed, natural, grounded eye contact. And once again, people noticed, not because he was louder, but because he was more there. One afternoon, August showed David a painting of an ancient Stoic philosopher, dressed plainly, no fancy robes or gold. Then he asked, Do you think this man needed expensive clothes to command respect? That question hit David deeply. The Stoics believed that true sophistication lies in simplicity. People who chase validation through fashion or flashy gadgets often miss the real point. Presence comes from within, not from what you wear. David took that lesson to heart. He stopped chasing attention through style and started focusing on substance. His new approach? Dress simply, be clean, be neat, no loud logos, no unnecessary flash. And strangely, that quiet simplicity started to make him stand out more than anything he had worn before. He also noticed something else about Elijah. The man rarely talked about his personal life, no gossip, no oversharing. And oddly enough, that made him even more intriguing. People wanted to know more, but Elijah never gave too much away. August chuckled when David pointed this out. People value what isn't obvious, he said. The Stoics understood this well. Mystery is magnetic. So David made another shift. When people asked about his weekend or his private life, he answered kindly but briefly. He no longer spilled every detail. And slowly, people started leaning in with curiosity instead of tuning him out. Finally, August revealed one of the deepest Stoic lessons of all: emotional independence. He told David, if your sense of worth depends on other people's approval, then you're not free. You're owned by their opinions. But when your self-worth comes from within, no one can take it from you. That truth landed hard. David reflected on how much of his life had been spent chasing validation, hoping for applause, measuring himself by other people's reactions. But now, something was different. He didn't feel the need to impress anymore. He was grounded in his own values. He had nothing to prove. And the irony? The less he tried to get others to like him, the more respect he earned without even realizing it. David had transformed. He spoke with purpose. He listened with presence. His posture was grounded. His energy drew people in. And most importantly, he no longer needed words to stand out. His very being did the work for him. All of this August summed up with a single quote from a Stoic master. David had begun to change, not just in how he acted, but in how he felt. He no longer chased validation. He stood taller, spoke less, and people noticed. And that's when August shared a powerful quote to tie it all together. The best revenge, Marcus Aurelius once said, is to be unlike your enemy. In other words, don't become like those who seek approval, attention, or control through manipulation. Real power, the kind that draws people in without a word, comes from mastering yourself. And now it was time to break it all down. August introduced the 7 Stoic lessons that could help anyone, yes, anyone, develop that same kind of quiet, commanding presence. Lesson 1. Hold a strong but relaxed posture. Imagine this. You walk into a room full of strangers. Nobody knows your name. You haven't said a word. Yet within seconds, people have already made judgments about you. The wild part? They've formed those impressions before you even open your mouth. Why? Because of how you carry yourself. People with true presence don't need to shout or demand the spotlight. They walk in with a kind of calm assurance that says, I'm grounded. I know who I am. Their posture does all the talking, balanced, confident, relaxed, no drama, no performance, just quiet strength. And here's where science backs the Stoics, your body influences your mind, and your mind in turn shapes your body. If you slouch, fidget, or look down often, your brain picks up on those cues, and you start feeling small, insecure, unsure. Others notice that too. Whether they realize it or not, they're reading your posture as a sign of who you are inside. But flip that around. Stand tall, let your shoulders drop gently, and plant your feet firmly. And the entire energy changes. You'll feel it. And others will too. Long before modern research proved this, the Stoics already knew. Marcus Aurelius said, "A man's nobility lies in his mind, but it's visible in how he carries himself." So, what does a Stoic posture actually look like? It's a balanced, solid, but never stiff. Imagine a gentle string pulling the crown of your head upward. This naturally lifts your spine without forcing it. If you're sitting, don't collapse into the chair. Sit upright. Keep both feet flat on the floor. Let your back be straight, but not tense. And your shoulders? Super important. A common mistake is pulling them too far back, which can make you look rigid or robotic. Instead, just roll them back gently and let them settle naturally. That tiny shift can completely change the way others see you. Here's another piece of the puzzle: breathing. Anxious people breathe fast and shallow. Confident people breathe slowly, deeply. Try it now. Breathe in through your nose. Hold it for a couple of seconds, then exhale slowly. Feel that shift? That's your body telling your mind, we're safe, we're in control. And it's not just about standing still, it's also about how you move. Jerky, rushed movements scream nervous energy, but a Stoic moves with purpose. No fidgeting, no rushing. Whether you're walking into a room or reaching for your coffee, do it with calm intention. One powerful habit: practice in front of a mirror. Observe how you sit, how you stand, how you walk. Even record yourself walking for 10 seconds. What do you notice? Small adjustments in posture and movement can create a massive shift in how you feel and how others respond to you. When you begin to apply these principles, your presence starts to change. Without uttering a single word, people begin to notice. So by now, you've started to see the power of posture, how simply standing tall and grounded can shift your entire presence. And here's the beautiful part: when your body sends signals of calm and control, your brain starts to believe it. Confidence grows, not because you said something clever, but because your body led the way. And this applies everywhere, whether you're walking into a job interview, stepping into a date, or giving a big presentation. A strong posture isn't about being stiff or intimidating. It's about quiet strength, calm confidence, silent authority. Sure, it might feel a little awkward at first, like you're playing a part, but give it time. Practice it. Eventually, this energy becomes second nature. It becomes you. Lesson 2. Master your facial expressions. Let's say you walk into a social event. You haven't said a word yet. No introductions, no conversations. And yet, people are already forming judgments. Why? It's not just your clothes, not just your posture. It's your face. Your expression is doing most of the talking. Most people don't realize how much their face is broadcasting to the world. Subtle signs of anxiety, impatience, insecurity, or boredom. They all show up without you saying a single thing. A slight frown, darting eyes, a clenched jaw. It all gets picked up, often unconsciously, by the people around you, but now picture the opposite. A face that's calm, steady, attentive. That kind of expression sends a very different signal. This person is centered, composed, in control. The Stoics knew this well. They believed that self-mastery begins on the inside, but must be reflected outwardly in how you show up to the world. Seneca once said, "He who controls his mind controls his life." That isn't just a poetic idea. You can see it in someone's eyes, in their stillness, in the way they don't let the outside world pull their emotions around like a puppet on strings. So, how do you develop this kind of expression? Start by observing yourself, literally. Stand in front of a mirror, or better yet, record yourself speaking. Talk about something that frustrates you, something that makes you uncomfortable. Then, watch closely. Do your eyebrows furrow? Does your jaw tighten? Do your eyes shift or avoid contact? Those little habits are signals to yourself and to others that you're not fully in control in that moment. Now, flip the script. Try holding a neutral expression, not blank, not cold, but calm, steady, present. Practice that look while thinking of something that would usually irritate you. What you're doing is training your brain to stay balanced, even under stress. Another powerful trick? Insert a pause before you react. In conversations, if someone says something that triggers emotion, take one deep breath, just one, before your face responds. That tiny pause gives you power. It shifts your reactions from automatic to intentional. And don't forget about eye contact. People who constantly look away can come across as uncertain, but stare too intensely and you might seem aggressive. The Stoic way? Keep a soft, steady gaze. You're not trying to dominate. You're simply showing up, calm, clear, and fully present. Want to get better at this? Watch videos of great leaders or powerful characters in film. Pay attention to their faces. Notice how they rarely fidget. They don't blink rapidly or shift their expressions constantly. That stillness, combined with presence, is what gives them weight. So far, you've learned how to master your posture and facial expressions, how stillness, eye contact, and calm presence can shift the way others perceive you. But there's one more dimension to presence that we often overlook: movement, or more specifically, the lack of it. You see, real presence isn't just about standing tall or keeping a steady gaze. It's about the energy you carry into every room and how that energy moves. Lesson 3. Move less. Pause more. Picture this. You walk into a room and notice two people in conversation. One of them is all over the place, fidgeting with their sleeves, tapping their fingers, adjusting their hair, shifting in their chair every few seconds. The other stands or sits calmly, gestures slowly and intentionally, and seems completely at ease. Now ask yourself, who looks more confident? Exactly. The way you move says a lot about what's happening inside. Fast, excessive, or jittery movements often signal nervousness, self-doubt, or a subtle desperation to be liked. On the other hand, a person who moves less, but with purpose, radiates calm strength and unspoken authority. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. They believed that controlled movement and physical stillness were outer signs of inner mastery. Seneca put it best when he said, "A wise man never rushes because he is not a slave to the chaos of the world." And that mindset, it's magnetic. When you move with calm intention, people feel it. You don't need to say you're in control. Your body already communicates it. So how do you bring this into your daily life? Step 1. Build body awareness. Most people have no idea how often they fidget, hands tapping, legs bouncing, adjusting clothes every few seconds. It becomes automatic. So starting now, just notice. When you're in a conversation, are your hands restless? Are you shifting constantly? Are your gestures adding clarity or just noise? That awareness alone is a powerful first step. Step 2. Reduce automatic movements. A simple exercise. Sit still for just a few minutes while you talk, or even while you observe your surroundings. Keep your posture grounded and resist the urge to constantly adjust. This isn't about becoming stiff or robotic. It's about becoming aware of your need to move and gently learning to sit with it. Step 3. Use pauses with purpose. When you speak, don't fill every second with noise or movement. Instead, pause. Let silence land. A well-placed pause shows control. It gives your words space to breathe and makes them carry more weight. Try this in casual conversation. When someone asks you a question, wait 1 second before replying. That small moment tells people, I think before I speak. And that single pause projects composure, depth, and confidence. Step 4. Slow your rhythm. Breathe with intention. If you catch yourself rushing, whether in walking, talking, or moving, consciously slow down. Take slower steps. Pick things up with calm purpose. Use fewer gestures, but let every one of them mean something. Quality over quantity. This kind of slowed down presence isn't just for the stage, it's for everyday life. Whether you're talking to a stranger, giving a presentation, or just standing in line, the more intention behind your movements, the more grounded you appear. In the last lesson, we uncovered how slowing down your movements and using intentional pauses can dramatically boost your presence. But there's another subtle tool, often overlooked, that speaks volumes without you saying a single word. It's your gaze. Lesson 4. Master the art of a calm, steady gaze. Imagine this. You're in a conversation. You haven't said anything yet, but the person across from you already feels your presence. Why? Because of your eyes. A calm, steady gaze sends a silent but powerful message. I'm present. I'm grounded. I'm confident. It's one of the most immediate ways people sense your energy, even before a word comes out of your mouth. The problem? Most people have zero control over their gaze. Some look away too quickly, which signals insecurity or discomfort. Others try too hard, staring intensely, which can come off as awkward, aggressive, or even a little unsettling. The Stoics had a better way. They understood that the gaze is more than just visual contact. It's a reflection of your internal state. A Stoic's gaze is firm but chill, intentional yet effortless. Seneca once said, "True calm comes from within, and it reveals itself in how we carry ourselves. That includes the way we use our eyes." A Stoic's gaze isn't twitchy or overbearing. It's steady, grounded, relaxed. And learning to develop that kind of eye contact can transform how you show up in the world. So, how do you train this skill? Step 1. Be honest about your habits. Start by observing how you naturally behave. Do you look away the moment someone starts speaking? Do you try to maintain eye contact so hard that it turns into a staring contest? That kind of awareness is where real improvement begins. Step 2. Practice a relaxed, steady gaze. Try this simple drill. Choose a small spot on a wall and look at it for 2 to 3 minutes a day. Just breathe, stay still, and let your gaze rest. It sounds simple, but this practice helps your mind get used to holding focus without pressure. Over time, eye contact in real conversations will feel more natural and less forced. Then, start applying it during interactions. When someone's talking to you, keep your gaze soft but steady. Don't look away too quickly. But also, don't freeze up and lock eyes like a robot. The sweet spot. Show confidence without intensity. Let your eyes say, "I'm here with you," not, "I'm trying to dominate this moment." Step 3. Use your gaze intentionally. A Stoic doesn't just move without purpose, and that includes the eyes. They use eye contact to signal attention, respect, or strength. So the next time you're in a conversation, hold eye contact when someone's speaking to show you're truly listening. And when you speak, let your gaze land, then naturally drift when you pause or reflect. That rhythm makes your gaze feel alive, not mechanical. Step 4. Mind your facial expressions while holding eye contact. Here's a trap many people fall into. They focus so much on eye contact that they forget their face. Some people unconsciously frown, which makes them seem irritated or tense. Others raise their... In the last lesson, we explored the power of the gaze and how controlling your eye contact combined with a calm facial expression can radiate quiet strength. But even with a steady gaze, there's one thing that can shatter your presence in an instant: overreacting. Before we get there, let's wrap up the previous point. A lot of people unconsciously raise their eyebrows, widen their eyes, or tense their forehead, especially when they're surprised, nervous, or unsure. These small facial reactions can completely shift how others read you. So, how do you fix it? Practice a calm, neutral expression. Stand in front of a mirror, relax your face, smooth out your forehead, loosen the muscles around your mouth and eyes. Aim for a look that feels chill but focused. This subtle change can speak volumes. It tells people, "I'm composed, I'm present, I'm not shaken by noise." Once you master this, your entire presence transforms. You'll no longer feel the need to explain yourself, defend yourself, or prove yourself constantly. Why? Because your energy, the calm in your eyes and stillness in your expression, will do the talking for you. Lesson 5. Avoid overreacting. Now picture this. You're in a heated conversation. Someone takes a jab at you, maybe even tries to embarrass you in front of others. What do most people do? They snap back. Their voice rises, their expression changes. Maybe they lose control altogether. But a Stoic, he doesn't take the bait. He takes a breath. He observes, and then he responds, not with emotion, but with intention. That kind of self-control not only commands respect, it also protects your peace. Because here's the truth. When you overreact, you're giving other people power over you. You're telling them that your emotional state depends on their behavior. But a Stoic knows that real strength is being unshaken, even when challenged. Like Epictetus said, it's not the things themselves that upset us, but how we interpret them. So how do you build this kind of control? Step 1. Practice the pause. When something irritates you, even a little, don't respond right away. Pause. Breathe. Just a few seconds can stop you from saying something you'll regret or from showing emotional vulnerability. That brief moment helps shift your response from reflex to reason. Step 2. Track your reactions. Throughout your day, take note of what triggers you. Is it traffic, a rude comment, a delayed reply? All of these are opportunities. Micro-tests. The next time something gets under your skin, ask yourself, does this really deserve my energy? Most of the time, the answer is no. Step 3. Use silence as a power move. Sometimes the best response is no response. When someone tries to provoke you, stay still. Say nothing. Maybe even smile subtly. Silence catches people off guard. It disarms them. It says, you don't get to control me. That kind of silence isn't weakness, it's composure. And people notice. Step 4. Train your face to stay calm. Your facial expression often reacts faster than your thoughts. And if someone annoys you and your face tightens, even for a second, they'll see they got to you. A Stoic trains their face to stay unreadable. Here's how. Look into the mirror. Think of something that usually irritates you. Watch your expression carefully. Now, reset. Relax your face. No furrowed brows, no clenched jaw. This isn't about suppressing emotion. It's about mastering your response. Step 5. See every challenge as a test. Next time something triggers you, shift your mindset. Don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, how can I use this to strengthen my self-control? Each moment of frustration becomes a rep in your mental gym. Tiny provocations become training tools. In the last lesson, you learned how true strength lies in emotional self-control, the ability to stay calm when others try to rattle you. That kind of inner stillness changes how people see you. The less reactive you are, the more powerful you appear. And once others realize you can't be shaken, something shifts. They begin to respect you, not because you demanded it, but because you earned it silently. Now we move into the next layer of Stoic presence. Lesson 6. Be selective with your words. Picture yourself in a conversation. One person is talking nonstop, over-explaining, trying too hard to impress, filling every silence with words. Now imagine someone else, quiet, focused. But when they do speak, everyone leans in. Who do you think holds more power? The truth is, the more you talk, the less impact your words have. The Stoics understood this deeply. They believed that endless talking often comes from insecurity, not strength. On the other hand, being deliberate with your speech, saying less, but meaning more, shows confidence and self-command. Seneca once said, "The emptier the mind, the louder the mouth." Speaking less isn't about being cold or distant. It's about showing intelligence, restraint, and clarity. And those who master this art naturally become more respected and more magnetic. So, how do you apply this to your everyday life? Step 1. Think before you speak. Most people blurt things out without a second thought, but a Stoic pauses. Before responding, ask yourself, is this really necessary? Does it add value? If the answer is no, silence might be the wiser move. Step 2. Drop the habit of over-explaining. When you explain yourself too much, It often signals doubt or a need for approval. But if you know what you're doing is right, you don't need to justify it repeatedly. If someone questions you, answer with clarity, then stop. Confident people don't beg for understanding. Step 3. Speak slowly and with control. Rapid speech can make you sound anxious or unsure, but slowing down even slightly gives your words weight. It shows you're in control, not only of the conversation, but of yourself. Step 4. Use silence as a response. Sometimes silence is more powerful than any clever comeback. When faced with drama, gossip, or nonsense, say nothing. Let your calm gaze do the work. Let your pause say, "This doesn't move me." That silence isn't awkward, it's power. It shows you're steering the moment, not being pulled by it. Step 5. Observe others. Watch how people speak. Notice the ones who talk too much, how they often seem to lose presence, even when they're trying to gain it. Then, pay attention to the ones who speak less, but with purpose. They tend to command more respect. Why? Because they make every word count. In the last lesson, we explored the quiet power of speaking less and with more purpose. When your words are intentional, not rushed, not over-explained, they begin to carry weight. And that same principle extends to something even more powerful than speech, the way you move through the world. Lesson 7. Carry yourself with purpose. Imagine two people walking into a room. The first glances around nervously. Their steps are uneven. They change direction mid-stride, unsure of where they're going or why. The second enters with calm, steady steps. Their eyes are focused, posture upright, movement deliberate. They don't say a word, but you can feel the difference. Who makes the stronger impression? Exactly. There's something magnetic about people who carry themselves like they know where they're going. You don't need a loud voice or dramatic gestures. When someone moves with clarity and calm purpose, others take notice. The Stoics understood this deeply. Epictetus once said, "No wind favors the sailor who doesn't know where he's going." In other words, if you're drifting, the world senses it. But if you walk with intention, even when the destination isn't clear yet, you command attention, respect, and trust. So how do you actually embody this Stoic lesson? Step 1. Get clear on your values. If you don't know what matters to you, your posture, tone, and decisions will reflect that confusion. Take time to reflect. What truly matters to me? What do I want to stand for? Write it down. Let your answers become your compass, because when you have inner direction, it shows, without you needing to explain. Step 2. Move like someone with direction. There's nothing that screams lost louder than someone who doesn't know what to do with their hands or where to place their focus. From now on, practice moving with calm intention. When you walk, keep your eyes ahead. When you enter a space, do it like you belong there. And in conversations, be present. Don't fidget. Don't zone out. Every subtle movement either builds or weakens your presence. Step 3. Speak with conviction. Even when you're not 100% sure of something, avoid phrases like, "I guess," "maybe," or "I don't really know." People with purpose don't speak in fog. Instead, they speak with clarity and confidence, even if the message is simple. You don't need to have all the answers, but the way you deliver your message matters. A firm tone, a clear point, a steady pace. These are things that people respect and remember, and the more you live aligned with your values, the more naturally this confidence grows. In the last lesson, we talked about the power of carrying yourself with purpose, how clarity in your values, movement, and speech can shape the way others experience your presence without a single word spoken. But purpose alone isn't enough. It must be supported, reinforced, and lived consistently. Step 4. Surround yourself with environments and people that support your purpose. You can't walk a focused path while living in chaotic surroundings. If you want to show the world you're in control, start by being in control of where you spend your time and who you spend it with. Cut out situations that make you look or feel like you're drifting. Eliminate habits that drain your energy or lead nowhere, and stop wasting your most valuable resource, time, on things that don't align with your growth. Step 5. Be consistent. Purpose isn't just about knowing your direction. It's about walking it every day. When people see you sticking to your values, not getting distracted by trends, temptations, or noise, they feel something rare, stability. And stability is magnetic. Someone who's disciplined, who doesn't need to say much but moves with quiet certainty, automatically commands attention. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't need to brag. The way you live speaks louder than any speech ever could. People can feel that steady, grounded energy. It draws them in. And if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, respect. That already tells me something about you. You're not just watching content. You're here to grow. You're not like most people, and that's your edge. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which lesson hit you the hardest? Drop it in the comments below. And if you're not sure what to write, just type gratitude so I know you stayed with me to the end. If you're serious about leveling up with Stoic Wisdom, stay on this journey. There are more insights waiting for you, and I've left 2 more videos at the end, packed with practical Stoic tools to keep building your self-mastery and personal power. Watch them now. Keep growing, and remember, your presence doesn't need noise, it just needs truth. See you there.